Welcome to It's the Economy. Today, we do a deep dive into credit growth for the MSME sector. Loan growth numbers from the three top private sector banks, HDFC, Axis and ICICI, show that loans to business banking, now business banking means MSME sector, loans to that sector was more than double the overall loan growth. For instance, just look at ICICI, the MSME loan, business banking loans grew 29.7%, overall loan growth 12%. HDFC, MSME's loan 19.6%, overall loan growth 6.7%. Likewise, for Axis as well, it's double. Separately, Bajaj Finance told us yesterday they see stress in the two-wheeler and the MSME segment. Okay, their credit cost has gone up, or rather provisioning. To understand if loans to MSMEs, the surge in the loans to MSMEs is a positive sign or is it a precursor to a bad loan cycle, I have with me Soumyakanti Ghosh, Group Chief Economic Advisor of SBI and, of course, Finance Commission member. I also have with me Bhavesh Jain, Managing Director and CEO, CIBIL TransUnion. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time. Soumya, if I may start with you. I know you've written a lot of reports on MSME. Have you noticed the MSME sector getting healthier? How do you account for this fairly big surge in the loans to this sector?
Yeah, good morning, Latha. I think the credit to the MSME sector for the banking sector as a whole, if we take last year also, and this year, whatever results have been declared, I think credit growth to the MSME sector continues to be healthy. And in fact, if you look into the overall headline credit growth and the MSME credit growth as per the disaggregated data published by RBI, the MSME credit growth is running close to around 19% when the headline is below 10%. And this trend actually has persisted last year also when the credit growth to the MSME sector was strong. There are, I think, three possible reasons for that, to these 3 or 4 possible reasons. First is that I think but that is basically the first could be the reason is basically a little bit technical one, is that there has been a definitional change for the MSME sector because now the turnover and the investment limit has been redefined. So a lot of non-MSME players are also migrating to the MSME sector. But that is a small technical point. The second important point is that I think the government has taken a lot of initiatives in the last 2 to 3 years along with the banks in terms of digitization, in terms of putting a emphasis on pushing the portfolio, the trades, receivables and other factors are other important steps. And a third important thing is basically the guarantee cover has now been raised to 10 crores. So earlier,
you mean the CGT MSE?
Yes, CGT MSE. So that cover is now raised to 10 crores. And incidentally, out of the, I think on the Uttam portal, which is basically an index of the formalization of the SME sector, around 6.3 crores MSME has registered, of which 99.1% or 2% are micro borrowers. And since these micro borrowers, the outer limit is 10 crore. So therefore, the CGT SME cover being extended up to 10 crores augurs well for the sector in terms of a guarantee. So, and finally, I think the other important point is that the growth in the MSME sector seems to be real this time because there is a lot of new to credit which is happening to the sector, and both across public sector banks and private sector banks.
Okay. You know, that is actually CIBIL's forte, to tell us whether there are more new to credit guys in the MSME pool. First, that question to you, Bhavesh. Before I ask you about stress, are there what you call NTC, new to credit guys, who are taking loans in that MSME segment?
Yes. Thanks and good morning for having me on the show, Latha. Yes, we do see a good, healthy number of new to credit coming through the door. It's been ranging between 47 to 51% for the last few quarters. A new to credit, which is a very healthy sign when we compare it to the other lending markets and segments. Second question around the stress. As of March 2025, we have seen the delinquencies for MSME portfolio have come down significantly as compared to the pre-pandemic times. It's almost come down to 1.8%, which is on some of the segments it's at a decade low. But when we compare it to the recent time, which is say April and May, as of May, the delinquency of 1.8 has slightly inched up to 1.9. But when we compare it on a trend-to-trend basis over the last few years, it has come down significantly.
Okay, so you're saying that, can we just go to the previous slide where you showed us the bar chart of 1.8? The total bad loans as a percentage of total loans given to MSMEs has come down significantly, as you can see, over the past 5 years. But you're saying March 2025's 1.8 is probably 1.9 for June 2025. Is that right, Mr. Jain?
Yeah, 1.9 as of May 2025.
May, okay, we don't still have June numbers.
Yes.
And you were going to give us some nuances within the numbers. You're saying that the smaller loans defaulted more under the 50 lakh category. I think that's the table that we were going with. Is that right?
Yes, so the credit exposure with below 50 lakh, the NPA levels are slightly higher. In fact, less than 10 lakh, it is significantly higher as compared to the aggregate MSME portfolio quality. And as the ticket sizes increases, we see a good trend in terms of the delinquencies coming down.
Okay, okay. Well, at the moment it is 1.9, so we will just worry a little bit. Soumya, you know, besides the three banks which indicated the numbers, they only said we have given more. All the three banks have shown very restrained NPAs. I mean, very small increase in Axis Bank's case, but that was for technical reasons, not because they said they were stressed. But Bajaj Finance numbers yesterday said that their credit cost has increased because they saw stress in the 2- and 3-wheeler segment and MSME segment. So that's why I'm asking you, do you think that there is a certain exuberance year after year, so much loan to MSME? Is there something we should worry about?
I think, Latha, at this point of time, given the initiatives, given the guarantee cover is at 10 crores, and given the fact that out of 6.3 crores, I think more than 99% are micro borrowers. So given this fact, I don't see too much amount of stress building up in the MSME portfolio in the future, because I think there has been a lot of significant steps and the walls which the RBI and the banks have built over the last 3 to 4 years to ensure that this credit grows healthy. And just to give you an example of the amount of credit which this sector actually could do, I think, and this is actually from the CIBIL data, I think out of the 6.3 crores MSME which are registered on the Uddam portal, I think 94 lakhs is the number who have got credit. And overall credit portfolio of the MSME today is around 32 trillion or so. And the per capita MSME sector and the micro loans actually is around 15 to 17 lakhs. So even if you're assuming a penetration rate of 25%, the credit potential of this overall portfolio, of which 99.23% is micro, could be in excess of around 20 trillion.
No, I take your point. Mr. Salunke, the gentleman from the SME sector, is always saying that, you know, there are 6 crore MSME companies and not even 1 crore have yet been serviced. And I agree that there is a headroom. But, you know, now we are not seeing corporate loan growth, as you can see from the 3 banks that have already reported also. Plus, Soumya, the government's capex is not going to grow. It will perhaps not fall off, but because of the fiscal deficit conditions, it's going to remain, it is going to plateau. So do you think MSMEs will have enough business to continue with this kind of a loan growth, or will banks have a problem finding good MSME borrowers? See,
as of now, the problem is of plenty. I mean, there's plenty of SME borrowers. So the problem is actually of plenty as of now. Okay. And I agree with your point that corporate credit has not expanded significantly in the last 2 to 3 months. But my sense is that if the SME sector is growing, that means there is some amount of demand from the corporate sector also because of the integrated value chain. So from that perspective, I believe that as of now, we should celebrate the growth in the SME portfolio without bothering too much.
No, point taken. We should celebrate, and perhaps it will also continue because MSMEs, as I think you and Sajid pointed out, are extremely credit price sensitive. When interest rates fall, you and I may not take a home loan because we have to wait for other conditions. but the MSME jumps onto credit much faster than large corporates. Very quickly, Bhavesh Jain, do you think this growth in MSME credit at 13% CAGR is likely to continue? What was the number you got for April, May?
So it's slightly come down. It has come down to below 13%. But with the multiple initiatives by the government and the programs, it should come back. And we do see some of the large credit institutions showing the confidence in the MSME sector.
Okay.
And there is a huge headroom. As we had published in our CIBIL MSME Pulse report, that out of the Udyam registered MSME, the credit active population is sub 1 crore, which allows a lot of headroom. For formal credit inclusion of these MSME.
Got it. Got it. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Out of time, but it was a meaningful conversation. The increase in loans to MSMEs has not exacerbated any stress. I mean, it's gone up marginally from 1.8 to 1.9, as Bhavesh Jain pointed out. But on the whole, both Soumyakanti Ghosh and Bhavesh Jain think that there is plenty of headroom for the MSMEs to grow, and stress is not showing just yet. We wrap up on Bazaar. Chartbusters coming up.